Earlier this year, I talked about how I was going to try to do more to bring positive attention to our industry. I'll be presenting at the Nordic Game Jam in April, and I'll also be covering game events in person in Japan and Taiwan later this year. As part of that push to talk about how awesome games for grown-ups can be, I wrote an article for Polygon that was just published. When I was first approached to write, I thought that this would be a great way to talk about this industry to people who were brand new to this space. One of the most common questions I get from you all is, "Annie, what are some great games that I can show to my friends or girlfriend or boyfriend?" Now, I've never had anyone ask me about their friends, girlfriend, and boyfriend simultaneously, but there's always time. One of the hardest parts was actually picking the games to talk about. Everyone likes different things, and I wanted to offer as broad of a selection of flavors that I could, and that I was allowed to. What was acceptable for me to write about was like my first question to Polygon, and they were very permissive in the flavors that they allowed. For sure, way more than Patreon or YouTube is. It felt really weird to be able to say things in the article that YouTube hasn't allowed me to talk about for the last few years. I am interested to hear what you all think of my selections, as well as what I said about each game. What would you have picked if you were looking to introduce adult games to as many people as you could? How many of the 8 games that I picked would you have agreed with? For those of you who are concerned about a conflict of interest, I get where you are coming from, and given the nature of the video game industry, your concern is valid. Given that, I will be donating 100% of what Polygon pays me for this article to 2 different prostate cancer charities, with 50% going to Prostate Cancer Foundation and the other 50% going to Zero Prostate Cancer. I'll make sure to post the receipts of that publicly on my Patreon once it is finished. The last few years of my family's life were so scary because of my mom's breast cancer. If I can spread the message of how great adult games are and help save a few prostates, then that is a win-win. Absolutely check out the article and let me know what you think. I'm not sure what YouTube is going to allow, so I may not be able to link directly to the article, but you'll still be able to access everything through the Patreon link. So frustrating, but that's just the world we live in. And until next time, no shaming, just gaming.